watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, as an 85-year-old LK Advani refuses to give up his leadership ambitions, we ask, should there be a retirement age for politicians? In a country where 50% of the population is below the age of 25, is it time to make for a younger leadership as well? Or does age and experience matter? Also later tonight, the disturbing questions raised by actress Jia Khan's suicide. As her boyfriend is arrested for abetment, many legal experts wonder whether the case will hold in court. Are India's laws on abetment to suicide unfair and outdated? What does abetment really mean? We'll talk about that later, but first, as an 85-year-old LK Advani continues to nurse prime ministerial ambitions in a country that already has an 81-year-old PM, we wonder, should there be a retirement age for politicians as well? Last week, Goa's Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar suggested that the age of saying bye-bye to active politics should be 65. Should that be the norm then, or does experience matter?
More than half of India's population is under 25, but most of its senior politicians are anything but young. Many believe the Bharatiya Janata Party versus Advani saga that played out in the last few days happened because the 85-year-old veteran still wants a shot at being Prime Minister of the country. Advani's own partyman, Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar, in the middle of the Advani controversy, suggested politicians should retire at the age of 65, and there were some who agreed.
ऐसे लोगों के लिए राज्यसभा बनाई हुई है, तो मैं समझता हूँ दुर्भाग्य से उल्टा हो रहा है। राज्यसभा में 50 साल के बैठे हुए हैं और लोकसभा में 80 साल के बैठे हुए हैं।
But it's a debate many are avoiding, especially now that Advani is back.
Politicians के retirement age के ऊपर क्या आपको लगता है politicians को 65 साल के ऊपर retire कर जाना चाहिए सर?
It has to be said that at 85 years, Mr. Advani is as fit as ever. Just 2 years ago, he embarked on a nationwide tour called the Jan Chetna Yatra to campaign against black money and corruption. This road trip lasted a full 38 days. Many of course feel that the wisdom that advanced years bring is indispensable. For close to 6 years now, the father-son pair of Prakash and Sukhbir Singh Badal have ruled Punjab. But is it time now for the 85-year-old Chief Minister to make way for the 51-year-old Deputy Chief Minister?
I think my father is doing an excellent job. I think he's a big guidance force for us, and working under him is an education, and every day we learn under him.
You don't think he should retire?
No, not at all, not at all.
And generally, sir, do you think there should be a retirement age for politicians?
I don't think so, because I think experience and guidance from a person like him, he's like an institution.
And though in Tamil Nadu, M. Karunanidhi has formally appointed M.K. Stalin as his political successor, he shows no signs of stepping down.
Our leader, Dr. Kalanjar, he is aged 90. He is working hard still.
And in Uttar Pradesh, though Mulayam Singh did step aside to make way for his son as Chief Minister, he is still nursing national dreams. In 2012, Manmohan Singh rejigged his cabinet to include younger faces. This brought down the average age of the Council of Ministers from 62 years to 58.6 years. But with widespread opposition to the idea, it is unlikely that retirement for politicians will be institutionalized anytime soon.
I don't think there can be an age barrier, but particularly in politics, it's a cerebral job. They're not sportsmen. So in that sense, but of course, I mean, when you start going senile, you must pack up.
With Sam Daniel in Chennai and Ketki Angre in New Delhi, Alok Pandey, NDTV.
And to borrow something Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee said many years ago, na tire, na retire. Should politicians have a retirement age? It is a fascinating debate. And joining us on the program tonight, we're happy to have with us the former Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Mr. Somnath Chatterjee, who joins us tonight from Kolkata. Also joining us this evening is Sanjay Kaul, the spokesperson, the young spokesperson of the BJP here in Delhi. We have Padma Rao, senior correspondent, foreign correspondent and journalist joining us. Kalikesh Singh Deo, Lok Sabha MP of the BJD is with us. Also tonight, Rahul Roshan, the editor of Faking News, one of my favorite satire sites and tweeters. He joins us tonight from Mumbai, and Mr. TSR Subramaniam, the former cabinet secretary, is with us as well. Let me start with Mr. Somnath Chatterjee. Sir, what do you think of Manohar Parrikar's suggestion that politicians should perhaps retire by the age of 65? After that, they can't really make sound decisions or good decisions. Having seen the kind of politics that has played out over the last few days with Mr. Advani still trying to hold on to his political ambitions at the age of 85, do you think there is some merit in that argument?
No, although I'm a retired politician, I don't think there should be a forced retirement on politicians, because apart from what is generally believed that experience is always good, it counts, it's also valuable, but we need not put an embargo so far as age is concerned. But what I want, what is needed is more and more young people to come into politics, active politics. That is the problem. In a sense, one may say that the present generation of politicians has failed the country. Because the reason is because the young people are not coming forward. That is the problem I feel that what India is having now. I don't think merely age should be treated as a bar, but we want youthful energy also to come into it, and a good amalgam of experience and youth in carrying on the political activities of our country. And politics should not be treated as something untouchable, or should not be not be taken recourse to as a profession. We need good politicians, we need good parliamentarians, we need good makers of the country, and the youthful energy is always available. But it's not necessary that we should ignore experience altogether. And just because one or two persons may have little more ambition, then probably he will have it. That doesn't mean that all old people or older people are only clamoring for their own positions. That is not so. There are many people.
But Mr. Chatterjee,
we have got tremendous number. Yes.
But sir,
yes,
you've
please.
of course had an extremely distinguished career in politics all these decades. But there is a sense one gets today that the political class is not at sync with the country. You have more than 50% of the population in India today that is under the age of 25, and this Lok Sabha is the third oldest in India's history, in independent India's history. The average age of an Indian member of parliament today is 53, sir. So is there a sense that politicians are not letting go? They don't want to let go. I
precisely agree with you. That's what I have been saying. We want greater and greater interest to be taken by our young people. That is the misfortune of this country. It's a young country. We are having a vast majority of youth. But how they are taking interest in this? Everybody wants to start being a parliamentarian. Even if you ask a young man to come into politics, say, who will give me a ticket, who will give me money? That's not the thing. You have to participate in political activities of the party you choose, the philosophy you believe in. We are having brilliant young people who should take interest in the political activities, national activities per se.
But sir, doesn't the old guard also need to let go? Doesn't the old guard also need to let go?
Well, you see, if youthful young people come forward by their merits, the old people will have no place. Everybody is not hankering for positions. There are many old people, senior people, who have served the country well. You can't ignore them just because they have become little aged. Not everybody may not retire as I have done, but that does not mean they are not sincere or they are not trying their best. But if everybody does not become Prime Minister, everybody does not become a minister. Right. There are many people in different political parties which are trying to help the party and the cause they believe in. But let us not be pedantic about anything, this age limit or all that. But question is, let us invite the young people, make possible young people to come into politics.
Okay.
And they
Sir,
should be motivated
I'm going to go across
come.
to one of the young MPs in the Lok Sabha, Kalikesh from the BJD. Kalikesh, you've heard what Mr. Somnath Chatterjee has to say. Many would argue that if civil servants have a retirement age, those in government positions have to retire at a certain age. Why shouldn't that apply to politicians as well? Or is that unfair? As Mr. Chatterjee says, there are many who can benefit from the experience that people like he himself have had in politics all these years.
While I generally agree with what Mr. Chatterjee was saying, I think the difference we have in our nation or our brand of politics is that we don't have a primary system. So we have no way of judging who the deserving people are who should get a ticket, and we normally rely on the blessings or ashirvad of the high command and their personal likes and dislikes. In that sense, we find a general resistance from the old guard to allow younger people to come in. And as you were saying, and I completely agree, I think by and large our political class has lost touch with the younger generation of India today. and we find policies and utterances which are at complete disconnect with most of the youth or most of what the youth believe. Therefore, I think we may not have to mandate an age. I don't think the number is as important as the fact that politicians must learn to retire when they feel that they cannot give their body and soul and cannot contribute with the complete focus that one needs to for something as important as politics. I think that's the time that politicians should say, all right, let's give up. Let's allow somebody else to come in who can do the job as well or even better.